Hi, welcome to my channel. Today in this video we will solve some problems based on modulus of a complex number and some problems based on locus. So let's go to the video. First question. If root 3 plus I whole power 100 is equal to 2 power 99 into a plus ib, then find a square plus b square. For that, see, given that root 3 plus I whole power 100 is equal to 2 power 99 into a plus I, right? For this, so we have to use one property of modulus, that is, suppose z is a complex number, then mod z power n can be written as mod z whole power n. So by using this property, we can solve this problem. So apply mod on both sides. Apply mod on both sides, so that modulus of root 3 plus I whole power 100 is equal to 2 power 99 into modulus of a plus ib. 2 power 99 is a constant number, so we can write outside. Now, what about a plus? This can be written as mod z whole power n. That means root 3 plus I whole power 100 is equal to 2 power 99 into a plus ib. Using this property, mod z power n is equal to mod z whole power n. Right. What do you mean by mod? Mod z is nothing but root over x square plus y square, correct? So that is square root of root 3 whole square is 3 plus 1 square is 1 whole to the power 100 is equal to 2 power 99 into a plus ib, that is root over a square plus b square. Now root 3 plus 1 is 4, root 4 is 2, that is 2 power 100 is equal to 2 power 99 into, right, from this root over a square plus b square is equal to 2 power 100 by 2 power 99 is how much? 2. That implies a square plus b square is equal to 4. So this is the answer. It's very easy question. Question number 2. If 1 minus I into 2 minus I into 3 minus I and so on n minus I is equal to x minus iy, then prove that 2 into 5 into 10 and so on 1 plus n square is equal to x square plus y square. For that, so given that, what is given? Please write down 1 minus I into 2 minus I into 3 minus I is equal to n minus I, correct, is equal to x minus iy. Just apply again modulus on both sides. Apply mod on both sides. That is modulus of 1 minus I, 2 minus I, 3 minus I, and so on n minus I modulus, that is equal to modulus of x minus iy. But we know one property. That property is what? That is mod z1 into z2 and so on zn is there. I can write it as mod z1, mod z2 and so on mod zn, mod zn. So by using this property, now I can write modulus of 1 minus I, modulus of 2 minus I, modulus of 3 minus I, and so on, modulus of n minus I is equal to modulus of x minus iy. So we know that what is modulus of z? mod z is equal to either z or z bar, whatever. If z is equal to, for example, x plus I, x minus iy, then mod z is equal also same as x square plus y square you can write, because minus y whole square will give you y square. So this is root 1 square plus 1 square, root 2 square plus 1 square, root 3 square plus 1 square, and so on. Root n square plus 1 square is equal to root x square plus y square. That's it over. Now root 1 plus 1 is 2, root 2, root 5, root 10, and so on. Root 1 plus n square is equal to root x square plus y square. Now directly squaring on both sides, then it will give you 2 into 5 into 10, and so on. 1 plus n square is equal to x square plus y square. This is the answer. So here we used that property is modulus of z1, z2, and so on zn is equal to mod z1 into mod z2, and so on mod zn. I hope you understand this problem. Next question is, if z1 is equal to minus 1, z2 is equal to minus I, then argument of z1, z2. First we will find out what is z1 into z2. z1 into z2, that is minus 1 into minus I, which means this is equal to I. So whenever you can write a complex number in the form x plus iy, so if there is no real part, I can write 0 plus 1 into I, which means this point is 0 comma 1. z1 z2 is equal to 0 comma 1 whenever. So in the previous video I explained about argument of z based on the points which they lie. Here see 0 comma 1 lies on positive y-axis, which means their argument is pi by 2. Therefore, argument of z1 z2 is equal to pi by 2 is the answer. Based on the point we need to identify. If the point lies on the quadrants, that is first quadrant alpha, pi minus alpha, minus pi plus alpha, and minus alpha, based on the quadrants that we have seen in my previous videos. Next, question number 4. If z1 is equal to minus 1, z2 is equal to I, then argument of z1 by z2. So like previous problem only, just find out first what is z1 by z2. z1 is minus 1 by I. Now in order to simplify, multiply and divided by I. Now you will get minus I by I square. What is I square ma? Minus 1. That is minus I by minus 1, which is I. Again same like previous one only. 0 plus 1 into I, which means 0 comma 1 is the point. Therefore 0 comma 1 means again the same pi by 2. So argument of z1 by z2 is equal to pi by 2. Next question. If the amplitude of z minus 1 is equal to pi by 2, then locus of z. Whenever asking about locus of z, so such for these problems, we have to consider let z is equal to x plus iy. In our Cartesian problems, like in our locus problems in general, we used to write px comma y be point in locus. Here also the same thing, but it is a complex number. Z is x plus iy. Now what they're asking, saying if the condition given, the condition is given that if the amplitude of z minus 1 is equal to pi by 2. Generally amplitude or argument both are same, right? Amplitude of z means what we used to write, tan inverse y by x if z is x plus iy, correct? So if the numerical problem, the problems are numerical, then we have to consider which it belongs to which quadrant. Based on that, we have to write amplitude or argument, that is theta. Here, whenever the in the locus problems, we can directly write tan inverse y by x. Okay, but which amplitude they're asking? Z minus 1. So for that, first find out what is z minus 1. X plus iy minus 1, which means write in the form of real and imaginary. X minus 1 plus iy. This is real, this is imaginary. Okay, now given amplitude of z minus 1 is equal to pi by 2, correct? Now what do you mean by amplitude? Generally, x, if z is equal to x plus iy, what we are saying? Y by x, imaginary by real. So tan inverse of imaginary is what here? Y by real is x minus 1. Imaginary real is equal to pi by 2. Send tan inverse that side. So y by x minus 1 is equal to tan pi by 2, correct? Tan pi by 2 means undefined. We can consider infinity as something by 0 for convenient purpose. That means y by x minus 1 is equal to 1 by 0. If you apply cross multiplication, y into 0 is equal to x minus 1. That means locus is x minus 1. Therefore, locus of z is x is equal to 1, correct? X is equal to 1, which is known as what? Vertical line or horizontal line? Which is known as vertical line. No need to write this, just for idea. Vertical line. So this is the locus of z. So based on the given condition, we have to write. Next question. If mod z plus ai is equal to mod z minus ai, then find locus of z. So this is again a locus problem. So let z is equal to x plus iy. Given condition is the what? Given that mod z plus ai is equal to mod z minus ai, correct? Now substitute z as x plus iy. X plus iy plus ai is equal to x plus iy minus ai. Now separate in real and imaginary parts. Only real part is x. Imaginary part is y plus a is equal to x plus I into y minus a. Now see. The here this is modulus. What do you mean by modulus again? Mod z is equal to what, ma? Root over x square plus y square, correct? Now under root x square plus y plus a whole square. Here under root x square plus y minus a whole square. Now to simplify it, squaring on both sides, that is x square, y plus a whole square, if you expand, y square plus a square plus 2ay. This is x square plus y square plus a square minus 2ay. So these three terms cancel all the terms. Here 2ay, if minus 2ay coming to left side, 2ay plus 2ay, 4ay is equal to 0, which means y is equal to 0. That is nothing but x-axis is locus. This is x-axis equation. Equation of x-axis is y is equal to 0 is locus of z. So this is the problem based on locus. Next question. If z is equal to x plus iy such that mod z plus I whole square minus mod z minus I whole square is equal to 2, then find locus of z. So given that z is equal to x plus iy and the condition is this one. Now substitute z as x plus iy. X plus iy plus I whole square, x plus iy minus I whole square is equal to 2. Now separate real parts and imaginary. I into y plus 1. If I is there, that is imaginary part. If there is no I, that is real part. x plus I into y minus 1, this is whole square, is equal to 2. Correct? Now, here square is there, that is okay. The mod means again what? Modulus means square root of real square plus imaginary part square. For this, whole square is there. Minus under root x square plus y minus 1 whole square. For this again, whole square, it is equal to 2. Now what we have to do? Cancel the square and root. Square and root. Cancel. So that what you will get now? X square plus y plus 1 whole square, expand y square plus 1 plus 2y minus, multiply with minus along with that expand, minus x square. This y minus 1 whole square means y square, that is minus y square, plus 1, that is minus 1, minus 2y, so that is plus 2y is equal to 2. So x square y square, x square y square cancel, 1 also cancel. Wow, 2y plus 2y, 4y is equal to 2. That implies y is equal to 1 by 2, which is nothing but, which is horizontal line. Horizontal line. Horizontal line. This is called, which is, that is locus of, horizontal line is locus of z. So like this, horizontal lines like this on x-axis. I mean a horizontal line which is parallel to x-axis. This is 1 by 2. So parallel to x-axis. So thank you for watching. In the next video, I will solve some more problems based on locus. Thank you.